couple Big Ten related questions. What's the best Big Ten stadium atmosphere you ever played in?
To me, I would say Nebraska. Nebraska's a pretty special venue. Played 2 games there. One went our way, one didn't go our way. But not only is it super loud and crazy, but you walk, so you're in the locker room, right? And you got to walk to the stadium. You walk through this hallway, and all you see are 10-2, 11-1, 12-0, 10-2. You're like, did these guys ever have a bad season? It's like from 60s all the way up through the 2010, 2014. And then you get out there, and in the one side of the stadium, you're just like, you just keep looking up, and it just keeps going, and it's kind of just like, wow, it's crazy loud, and they're so friendly there. Every other stadium in college football, you run on the field, boo, boo. You run on the field at Nebraska, and they're like cheering you on. You're like, they know we're not in their team, and then Nebraska runs out, and the whole stadium's shaking, and your helmet's like, but it's I would say Nebraska.
And 2 more quick ones. Best uniforms besides your own, and then best Big Ten player you faced.
Best uniforms besides our own. I like the Purdue's all black uniforms with the train tracks on it and the USA little thing in the P. And then the other question
best
was
Big Ten player you faced.
Best Big Ten player I have faced. That's a tough question. Can they be on my team or no?
No.
I don't know. That's a tough question. I would say a lot of great players played against. Some of the ones I had real troubles with was Joey Bosa, Ohio State, Chris Wormley from Michigan, Randy Gregory from Nebraska. They were all pretty good players. Good. How you doing?
One of the things that Mark Antonio talked about earlier was learning from 2012. The last time you went through sort of a transition of quarterback and a number of this many people, pieces turning over. You were around then as a redshirting player. I mean, what did you learn? What did you take from that experience that was maybe a mistake in mentality or anything that was done in this sort of transition that you can learn from to avoid that?
Yeah. I think it's hard to pinpoint what exactly went wrong in that season. I believe there was like 5 games that we lost by a total of 14 or 12 points, something like that. So it wasn't like we were getting crushed and we were just a worse team than everyone else. We were right there, and it all just came down to the end of the game, the fine little execution details. We averaged like 5 drop passes a game that season, I believe. So there were a lot of things that were wrong in that season. I don't know, it might have been a little bit of a mentality. We didn't have that mentality that in each and every game we got to give it every little detail, and we got to finish teams out. We can't just play good for 3 quarters and 10 minutes. We got to play good for 3 quarters and the whole 4th quarter and go through overtime if it goes that far. So I just think that mentality of we're coming and we're not stopping until we win type of mentality, I guess.
When you look at this senior group, the veteran group, I mean, the strength that you guys maybe had is an understanding of how hard it is to do what you've done year after year and beginning with that year.
Yeah, I think that's one of our biggest challenges that we'll have this season is me, Riley Bola, Tyler O'Connor, all those guys who came in my class, Benny McGowan, Cody Keeler, all of us trying to relay to these freshmen who are in that are really talented kids, but that might think, I'm going to play as a freshman because I'm whatever. I'm 5-star, 4-star, top in my position, top from my state. We got to translate, it's not easy. It's not going to come. You're not going to be the best thing on this field right now. Now, if you work your butt off, you can help us out this season. And if you put in extra work, if you put in extra time, if you want it, if your mentality's right and you go after it and you go earn it, then you're going to have success here. But if you just run out there and think it's going to happen, it's not. And that's a little bit, I think, of what might have happened in 2012 a little bit and what me and my senior class are going to try and avoid.
You're defending Big Ten champions, but pick 3rd in your division. Something you guys are just used to.
Yeah, I guess you got to get used to it at some point. But no, I don't pay attention to the media too much and what they're saying as far as preseason rankings and all this kind of stuff. It's a position we've been in before. We've been told that before, and we've come out and won it. So we're not worried or nervous or anything like that. We're excited for an opportunity to prove people wrong again. And feed off that energy of having your back against the wall and almost feeling disrespected in a sense. but it's all overplayed at times, I think. The preseason, you got to talk about something, so why not just talk about who's going to finish where, and let's just go play some football. We're excited for fall camp and ready to get things going.
I mean, what is the mindset, though, of you guys? You guys have won 2 of the last 3 Big Ten titles, but you did lose Connor and Shalik and Jack and all those guys. Does overlooking you kind of overlook what this program has built, not just last year, but over time?
Maybe if you want to look at it in that way. I don't know. I don't look at it that deeply, I guess. I just look at results, and they speak for themselves. And we got to produce results this season to get talked about this season. And if we don't, we're not going to get talked about. So it's pretty simple. I don't think last year means anything about this year. I don't think 2 years ago means anything about this year. I don't think the 7-6 season we had in 2012 means anything. It's all about what we bring this fall and what we put on the field. And we got a long road to go. We got fall camp to go and a lot of games to go. But we're excited for that opportunity to prove ourselves.
2 years ago, you guys had Tony Lippett. Last year, Aaron Burbridge. Does R.J. Shelton have the skill set and talent to be that go-to guys here?
100%. R.J.'s got that talent. Now, we'll see if he has a 1,000-yard receiving season and all Big Ten receiver of the year, whatever, like those guys did. Might work out that way, or it might work out more like 2013, where we had 5 different receivers who all led us in like 2 different games receiving. And kind of a mixed match group of guys. But RJ's the leader in that room. So whether it's 1,000 yards receiving or whether it's leading Donnie Corley and Cam Chambers and some of those young guys to help us a ton on the field and make big plays too, that's RJ Shelton's room. And he's going to be the leader there to step up and lead that group.
Same type of situation with the quarterbacks. Obviously, it's 2013, a new one coming in. Just kind of address that. Obviously, the quarterback battle between O'Connor and Terry.
Yeah, it's shaping up to look like it's going to be pretty similar to that season. I don't know when we'll decide who's going to be our starter, but we got 3 guys that I'm 110% confident that we can win a Big Ten championship with them at quarterback. Brian Lewerke, Damian Terry, and Tyler O'Connor. All those guys, whoever they decide to start, we're going to do fine with, and they're going to pick up the offense fine. They all know it. They all have been here a decent amount of time, and they all make plays and great decisions. So I'm 100% confident in them. And I think it's easy to talk about the quarterback position because they're the leader of the offense, but it's not all on them. It's on our senior offensive lineman to lead. It's on myself. It's on Jamal Lyles, my fellow senior tight end, R.J. Shelton, the running backs. If we all contribute and play to the top of our level, the quarterback's got an easy job. All he's got to do is ride the offense and lead us. So,
how important is it that this year's team, establish its own identity, early?
Yeah, I think every season it's important for us to establish an identity, and this season's going to be fun to figure out what that identity is going to be. We start up fall camp here in like 10, 11 days and start pounding out what that identity is. But it's very important, and we'll figure it out as the season starts.
If you had to guess, what do you anticipate it's going to be like?
It's really hard to tell at this point. I mean, you got to wait till fall camp to really see what our team's going to come together like. But I think we're going to be a bunch of hard-nosed kids who are going to be blue-collar, come to work each and every day. We're going to leave everything out there on the field, and we're going to have a fist-fight mentality that we're here and we're going to play. And you got to really beat us and knock us out if you want to actually get a W against us.
How close were you with Mike Sadler? And what have the last few days been like?
That topic's so hard to talk about, man. Mike was not only a brother, a family member, friend, a mentor, someone I looked up to, wanted to be like. It's really hard with being 48 hours out to just talk about Mike and everything he meant to our program. I mean, it's words are hard to describe it. We're going to miss him so much. He was just such an amazing person, and I think it's so true. Mike Sadler could have been the most successful Michigan State grad that there ever was. I mean, he's that kind of a person, and he had that kind of talent, that kind of intelligence, that kind of drive, that kind of motivation, and then his personality. I mean, you guys covered him. You know what he was like. He was funny. He was great to be around. Always had a smile on his face, and it's hard to believe. It really is. But just praying for his family, and all of Spartan Nation as we're all kind of in this mourning stage, and really just trying to make his legacy last forever. He might have passed away at a young age, but us as teammates and people who knew him closely are going to try to take a part of him and carry that legacy on forever, honor him through our play and through our actions and through our lives.
Has there been any talk about how you're going to honor him throughout the season?
No, it's too early.
In the spring, you talked about leadership and how you wanted to be more of a vocal leader and that type of thing. What did you do, since then in the off season? I guess when the coaches can't be around to actually implement that.
Just all kinds of things, man. From just trying to talk more to guys, hang out more with guys, off the field trying to just do random things with guys. Just whatever.
Driving guys to pick up groceries.
Yeah, just hanging out, playing video games together, watching TV together, going over to guys' apartments, going out to dinner with guys, just whatever. Maybe not guys I'd always hang out with or whatnot. Just trying to get to know guys more. It's crazy. The older you get, the less you know. The young guys that come in, you're like, who is that kid? What does he do? What's his family? All this different kind of stuff. But just trying to get to know guys. And then in leadership, as far as workouts, just being a vocal guy, talking to guys. And kind of how we talked earlier with the younger guys. I mean, we got a lot of young wideouts. We got a lot of young O-linemen. And maybe they've been here 2 years, but they haven't played in games that much. So it's just getting in the film room with them, telling them, hey, I'm thinking you're doing this on this play. What's your thoughts? And just getting to know how they play, how they react, all those kind of things. And then just trying to be a face for Michigan State University at things like this, stuff like that.
It's against your nature.